Like I said yesterday, I was going to do a double feature of Scooby-Doo, and turns out that I was not able to do a double feature. So bear with me. We're going to be doing some movie reviews. So yesterday, I watched a classic horror film, folks, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. I haven't seen this movie in a while. It's been maybe, I think I saw it like once as an adult, but I used to watch the Scooby-Doo movies, especially the late 1990s, early 2000s Scooby-Doo movies all the time when I was young. I had all these on VHS. It was great. So Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. I mean, what can I say? This is a horror film. This is a horror film. So one of my favorite things about the late 90s Scooby movies is how like it like I'm not an expert on the Scooby-Doo canon. I know there's like 10 different series of Scooby-Doo, and there's like all of them have different canons, and there's like some are connected to other universe. I got to look into that more maybe. But this is like in like a post original series kind of canon, where like they're all like, you know, they've retired from doing the solving, the mystery solving, right? And they're all like cynical and jaded, you know, like, oh, it's just a guy in a mask again, right? So they go to Daphne's got like a show she does now, like she's trying to ride off the fame of the Mystery Inc. You know, one of my favorite parts in this movie is Scooby and Shaggy working at the airport. Oh my god, great shit. I love that. Where they like confiscate the food and then eat all the food and then they get fired. Oh, right, so good. So anyway, I love that. So everyone's like, you know, they're in the post original series universe. They're all jaded. They're all like, fuck it. There's no such thing as supernatural shit anyway. Let's go work at an airport and eat some cheese wheels. Like, who the fuck brings a giant cheese wheel on a plane, by the way? Like, is that something people do? I'm going to smuggle cheese wheels in my suitcase? Like, but anyway. So Daphne's like, all right, we're going to do one last mystery tour, you know, look for some spooks. And they end up traveling all across the country. They end up in Louisiana at some point. And someone's like, oh, I got a haunted, spooky island. It's called Moonscar Island. You can come over and it's goddamn scary. Right? So then they're like, oh shit, that bitch is hot. Let's go to Moonscar Island. So now again, this movie takes place in Louisiana. And so there's a lot of, one of the major themes of this movie is that the island is a pepper plantation, or formerly a pepper plantation. So what they do is Scooby and Shaggy just eat hot peppers like almost the whole movie. Like every other scene, they're sneaking off some hot peppers and they're freaking out. I love it. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This movie made me hungry for hot peppers. I opened up a can of pickled jalapenos that I had after this movie, and I was eating them. So I was inspired. If I had hotter ones at the time, I would have also done that. But anyway, so they're at this island, and like, you know, it's like a haunted plantation or some shit. And then, there's two people. There's like an assistant, and then there's like the person who owns the mansion or whatever. And so they're eating dinner. You know, it's like, I think this whole movie takes place, like the main part of the movie anyway. Like, you know, you got the whole prequel part where it's like everything up until, but like once they get to Louisiana, I think this whole thing takes place in one night. And so anyway, like over the course of the night, like ghosts are freaking around, and like they're still not sure if they're like holograms, you know. And that's one of my favorite parts of this movie, is that like Fred is like a skeptic. He's like, you know, like he's like, yeah, like, no way, that's not true, man. Right? I just think it's great. So anyway, then eventually they find zombies. So Scooby and Shaggy are out eating some hot peppers at midnight somewhere, just wandering around. They find some motherfucking zombies. They get scared, right? Everyone else is looking for the zombies now, right? And then Fred meets the zombies and he tries to pull the mask off. It's great. And then he pulls the head off, and then he's convinced they're real zombies. And I love his look too. It's just great. I mean, it's a great movie. Zombie Island. This is a great fucking movie. I don't know what to tell you. This one might be the best Scooby-Doo movie. I'm not sure. But anyway, so then now they know that the zombies are real. There's like Confederate soldier zombies, right? But guess what? Turns out the Confederate soldiers, they're the good guys. Yeah, that's right. the plantation owners and the Confederate soldiers are the good guys. Why? Well, because they were all destroyed by like some dumbass bitches worshiping a cat god or some shit. Some witches that worship a cat god basically went on the island and killed them all, like ate up their souls and some shit. So, you know, that's some crazy shit. Turns out, oh, you know, the two women, the assistant or whatever it is, and then the one who owns the plantation, turns out they're 200, 300-year-old cat goddesses or some shit, and they sacrifice the souls of people, and they have throughout history. So the zombies, you can see, like, the Civil War Confederate zombies, right? But then you can see, like, the tourist zombies, because they lure tourists out there every, like, year since then or some shit. And so I love how you can look at all the different time periods of zombies. I thought the attention to detail was really good. I just think this movie is great. I think the Catgirl, like, you know, transformation animation was some shit out of, like, Dragon Ball Z. You know, like, when that bitch is, like, turning into a fucking Catgirl, and she's like, "Arr!" and she's, like, screaming, and then, like, there's, like, literally, like, it's, like, some Dragon Ball shit. Like, again, like, her clothes are breaking off and floating upward and shit. It's crazy. So, anyway, so the zombies help the gang basically escape the voodoo cat goddess bitches. And then, you know, they try to steal the souls of the gang. They fail, and because the clock is past midnight, so then they wither away and the zombies can go rest in peace or whatever. I mean, it's a great movie. I don't know what to tell you. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. I mean, to me, this is a great movie. I really love this whole era of Scooby-Doo movies. This is, you know, when I was young, this was the era that was, you know, new at the time when I was young. So I would have the VHS tapes and I would watch them over and over and over again. And I think they're great. But once again, yesterday I said that I was going to do a double feature yesterday. Scooby-Doo movies, they're all really relatively short, hour 15 minutes, you know, hour 6 minutes, you know. I was doing some shrooms, doing some marijuana, and I was thinking to myself, can I really do a double feature? Can I really do a double feature? Well, the answer is no, because I did a triple feature. That's right, folks. Scooby-Doo and the Witches Go.